I don't usually think that former Labor Minister Kim Carr is worth listening to. He's as radical as they come. Yet he's given quite an interesting interview where he said that the Albanese government can't afford to do a deal with the Greens. And he warns that the Greens will be asking Labor to do things that they don't want to do, and the historic pattern that has led to quite negative outcomes. He's saying that we've got to do everything we can to avoid minority government. Now, Gary, Kim Carr is a far-left Labor figure, but even he's warning that the Greens are going to make some quite serious demands on Labor should Albanese have to do a deal at the next election.
Yeah, and we used to nickname him in a fun way, Kim Il-Carr, it's like giving a sort of Korean dictator kind of slant. But look, Kim Carr is right. I can't even believe I'm saying that, because the Labor Party are going to be taken over by the Greens, even more than some elements of the Labor Party have already been taken over. We saw it in the Queensland election. We saw it in the ACT election. Back earlier this year, the Brisbane City Council election. People are actually voting against the Greens now. People are actually saying, you know what, your support of Hamas, your support and comfort for terrorists is not about the environment. It's about tyranny. It's about anarchy. And if the Labor Party want to be involved with them, Kim Il-Carr, there you go, I've done it again. Kim Carr is right. Stay away from these people. They're bad people making bad decisions and speaking in our name on really, the wrong issues all the time. So Labor, you've got to be a grown-up party. Steer clear of them, I say, and don't even give them preferences. Heavens help us. Yeah.
Now, just quickly, those comments we played of Penny Wong a second ago, that was Penny Wong back in March speaking about UNRWA. But today on social media and on Twitter, you can pull up her statement, or on X, I should say. She condemned Israel over that decision to ban UNRWA operating. Now, Darren, realistically, Albanese says he's not going to do a deal with the Greens, but if it comes to it, if it's his only way of staying in power, of course he's going to.
I think his preference would be to go to other independents before relying on the Greens, because we saw what happened last time. And I worked for Julia, but Julia Gillard signing effectively a declaration with Bob Brown was not to her benefit at all. What Kim Carr says is absolutely true, that unlike the coalition between with the LNP in Queensland, but the Liberal National Coalition, the Greens are not there to make Labor elected. There are many in the Greens who their long-term ambition is to take over the progressive or the left vote to Labor's detriment. And with that in mind, it's a dangerous thing for Labor to go into coalition, and they will do everything they can to not go into a formal coalition with the Greens.
Just remind me, were you working for Julia Gillard when it was the hung parliament and there was that extraordinary long negotiation with Oakeshott?
No, I wasn't. I left Tanya's office at the end of the term, and I came back to Julia's office sometime after. But I did watch those 18 minutes when, for all of us inside the show, it was perfectly obvious if Katter had gone one way, the other two were going the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was kind of in real time. It was quite painful. I quite like Rob Oakeshott, but it was a painful press conference.
No, Anyway, Oakeshott's a topic for another day. Gary Hardgrave, Darren Barnett, thank you both very much.